Alrighty, chat. Welcome back to another Davis Does Weather live stream. We were not planning on going live this early whatsoever, but the most unbelievable situation I think we've ever seen is going down right now. This is one of the wackiest, wildest tornadoes I've ever seen. I don't even believe that this is a real thing. We have a PDS tornado warning going out northeast of Denver in Aurora, Colorado, north of the town of Bennett. This is going out for the community of Living Springs. This is in northern Adams County. If you're included in this tornado warning, you need to run, not walk, to your safe spot. This is a life-threatening situation and a killer tornado ongoing here north of Interstate 70. This is going to be on the ground here northwest of Peoria. You can actually notice a little TDS there on the correlation coefficient possibly, but again, this is a wacky, wild land spout slash, I guess technically a tornado. I mean, it is associated with a rotating mesocyclone, but I mean, genuinely, this is the weirdest thing that I think we've ever seen in live time on this channel. So if you're included in this tornado warning, make sure that you are getting to your safe spot. Again, this is a PDS tornado warning now going out for portions of Highway 79 north of I-70 near Bennett and Living Springs. So again, we were not planning on going live here until 5 or 6 p.m. Whenever our Kansas and Oklahoma storms were supposed to get to firing. Now, obviously, that's not happened yet, but it's looking like it's about to based off of model guidance. And also, we do have a couple of little thunderstorms convecting near Wichita, Kansas here. These are currently producing some large to very large hail up to half-dollar size and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour near the town of Goddard there. But again, I am just in pure and utter shock in what's going on here in Colorado. Again, we were not expecting this. Anybody that tells you they were expecting this is lying. I mean, this is just the most incredible landspout of all time. Again, it's not even really a landspout. I mean, it is associated with a rotating mesocyclone. Also, we had a landspout just before this. This was not the first one. We had one just off to its west-southwest near the town of Bennett. Again, at one point, we had two significant tornadoes ongoing, again, north of Bennett, Colorado. But at this point, it is just the one here that is associated with our strong area of rotation, still southeast of Living Springs. Again, I can't show any photos of videos of this thing on stream because we genuinely don't have the permission to use any of them, but what we are seeing right now, again, at the surface is unbelievable. I've been posting some photos on my community tab, so if you're interested, go check those out. But, I mean, I just can't believe what we're seeing right now. Again, this is one of the most incredible weather phenomena I think we've ever seen in the state of Colorado, ever. I mean, this is just unbelievable, guys. So, again, PDS tornado warning here going out for Living Springs. Are traffic cameras public domain, though, or all of them? If so, we'll see if we can get some of those up for you guys. We do have Storm Media. They're about to start their stream up. Oh, that was a bad voice crack. Again, they're out there in Kansas right now. Again, our main threat for today, obviously, that big old moderate risk of severe weather, the 4 out of 5 on the SPC scale going out for sections of central and southern Kansas and north central Oklahoma. Looking like a pretty high-end day according to a lot of our recent HRRR model runs here with those extremely discrete and just straight-up violent supercells. And that's continuing to come in here on the new 19Z run of the HRRR. I mean, we're talking about numerous discrete supercells that are going to have the potential to produce tornadoes, some of which strong to intense. So again, very interesting day out here in the southern and central plains. Again, off to one of the wildest starts imaginable with a PDS tornado warning now going out northeast of Bennett, Colorado. So again, there are some traffic cams here along I-70 that were originally catching this thing. They're definitely not going to be able to at this point, but again, an unbelievably photogenic tornado on the ground here north of Bennett. Again, I mean, this is one of the weirdest, wackiest things I think that we've ever seen live on stream. Again, you got that LP hook echo there. I mean, basically an NP hook echo, no precipitation virtually. I mean, this is just bizarre, guys. But again, if you're in the community of Living Springs, Colorado, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. I mean, again, this is a PDS tornado warning, so you shouldn't take this any less seriously just because this is, photogenic and we don't have any reports of damage yet. There's just nothing out here for this thing to hit legitimately. And again, this is now associated with a little thunder shower again. Like, I cannot stress how weird this is, guys. This was our original supercell. This was our original land spout, or our original tornado, which was already weird enough. And then we got this secondary, again, shower that produced this just monster tornado. Then it became a hook echo associated with the supercell, and now it is a little shower again. I just genuinely don't understand. Again, from a meteorological perspective, this is one of the most complex situations we've ever covered live. This is going to, seriously take a deep dive onto how this happened, because, again, I've never seen anything like this. This is just unbelievable, guys. So, again, if you are out here in the community of Living Springs, make sure that you are, again, in your safe spot. Again, this tornado is now moving through Living Springs if it remains on the ground, and this is going to be moving up towards Comanche and Hoyt over the next several minutes. Again, a brand new tornado watch has been put in place for sections of northeast Colorado and as well as southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas. Again, we're going to be talking about the potential for a couple of stronger tornadoes up this way as well. Again, taking a look at the HRRR, you'll notice that it does have some discrete convection firing over the next couple of hours. By 5 p.m., maybe we're talking about a couple of tornadoes and some significant damaging winds and large hail across parts of the tri-state region there. So, again, we'll watch out for that, but I am just in genuine awe and in shock as to what just happened here. Again, a PDS tornado warning for a massive tornado associated with a rain shower with unbelievable velocities. This is just, again, quite literally the weirdest situation we've ever covered live on this channel. Again, these things were breaking the terminal velocities, guys. These are significant tornadoes here, and it's still on the ground again here west of the leader. If you're in this area, you need to remain in your safe spot. Again, associated with a rain shower. Again, I cannot stress enough how bizarre this is. Again, if you're out here in Hoyt or Leader, I'd be ready to seek shelter, as well as areas along I-76 there near Wiggins and Fort Morgan. Get ready down the line, because this is one of the most interesting and bizarre things I think I've ever seen occur. Ever. Again, I just genuinely can't believe that this is actually happening. This looks so weird. Again, a PDS tornado warning now going out for a large tornado associated with a rain shower in eastern Colorado, where we have temperatures in the 50s and dews all the way down into the 30s. Again, this is the most unbelievable, wacky situation I think I've ever seen. Again, I genuinely, I strive to, tell you guys why everything happens as a meteorologist, but this is something that I genuinely cannot explain. It interacted with this boundary, and somehow that led to the production of this massive tornado slash... I don't want to call it a land spout, because it's not a land spout, but that's what it feels like. This is, again, the most odd situation we've ever seen. This has now been downgraded to a radar-indicated tornado warning, but if you're in this area, you do need to remain in your safe spot. Again, Storm Media now up live. They are doing their Kansas chase here again. They are going to be looking for those discrete supercells to fire there in our extremely unstable environment there in Kansas over the next several hours. They are right now just west of Hayes along I-70, and again, we're expecting a couple of supercells to convect up that way. The more intense area of convection is expected to be a little bit further south near the Wichita area, and again, if something like this does end up happening, we could be talking about the threat for a strong to intense tornado here somewhere in this vicinity. Again, it all depends on if these storms are actually able to convect here east of the dry line, or if just they don't. It's one of those classic bigger bust situations out here in the central and southern plains, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's kind of refreshing, because it's been a while since we've seen something like that out here in Kansas. I can't tell you the last time that an environment has been this primed in the Kansas-Oklahoma state line area. It would probably be May 6th of last year. It is such a fascinating and bizarre setup, and again, it is not nearly as fascinating as what we have ongoing here in Colorado right now, I'll say that much. But anyway, very weird and wacky start to the event here. Again, if somebody wants to write me out a little chat message explaining the rules and the donation policies, that would be greatly appreciated. But for right now, we've got to stay locked in here on coverage. Again, we have still likely a big old land spout ongoing here northeast of Living Springs, Colorado, or a big old tornado. Again, whatever you want to call it at this point, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is a funnel on the ground, and it's likely doing some damage here to what it hits. Again, one of the most bizarre situations you will ever see, ever. I mean, there's nothing else to it. I mean, this is, again, something that nobody expected. Not a single forecaster or meteorologist told you that this was going to happen before the event, because what this is should almost be impossible. Not entirely impossible, obviously, because it's happening, but almost impossible. Again, a weird and wacky situation. They did just extend that tornado warning now. That is now going to be going out for the community of Hoyt, Colorado. So Hoyt and surrounding areas, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This also includes Leader and areas southeast of Comanche. Alan with the $2 dono. W. Allen's down below in the chat. Thank you so much, Alan. The GOAT is back. Seriously though, thank you so much, Alan, for the $2 donation. Greatly appreciated. Donations are optional, but they do greatly help out, and it lets me know that this is going to be a potential career option for me in the future. And we do also commonly give back to these communities that have been impacted by these significant severe weather events. But thank you so much, Alan, for the $2 donation, my good sir. Let's go ahead and throw you up there on the donation board. Thank you so much, Alan, for the $2 dono. Again, Alan's the GOAT, folks. So, W's in the chat for Alan if you've not already. Again, anyway, very bizarre and wacky situation ongoing here in northeastern Colorado. This is going to be, at this point, again, off to the north of Living Springs, and it's going to be approaching Hoyt. So if you're in this area, you need to remain in your safe spot. Likely still a very photogenic tornado occurring here along Road 43 southeast of Comanche. Again, this is just genuinely one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen from a meteorological perspective. Again, this supercell interacted with this boundary, produced a huge tornado, dissipated, then a rain shower convected off to the east, produced its own huge tornado, then it became a part of the supercell, and now it's detached again. Again, this is the most complicated setup, or the most complicated situation here from a meteorological perspective ever, and I am just so blown away by this, guys. I mean, again, this is a tornado on the ground, most likely still here approaching Hoyt, and again, I mean, it's starting to become attached to our actual supercell again. I mean, this is just the most bizarre situation I think I've ever seen, ever. I mean, again, this is weird, it's wacky, it's fascinating. But, I mean, again, this is wild. So again, if you're just not tuning in, likely still an ongoing land spout here, southeast of Comanche in Colorado. Again, this is going to be approaching the town of Hoyt and areas along Highway 52 very shortly. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, this was previously a PDS tornado warning, now been downgraded to radar indicated. I have pretty high confidence that this is still ongoing. Again, this is what it's looked like the entirety of its lifetime on the radar signatures. And again, there's just no traffic cams out here or spotters or law enforcement or anything to verify it at this point. So again, likely going to start to see some photos and videos of damage come out here soon from the Bennett area. It's weird, though. This tornado really wasn't that strong at the surface. Again, makes it seem more like a land spout than anything else. I mean, this is weird, guys. Very weird. Again, I'm trying to find some photos and videos for you guys. Again, here was the land spout. This isn't even nearly when it was at its most impressive point, but here's a photo of it from one of the traffic cams along I-70 here east of Denver. Again, it gets a lot more impressive than this, though. I mean, just a bizarre and wacky situation here. But again, likely still an ongoing land spout here / tornado approaching the community of Hoyt. Again, weird. Weird to say the least. But again, likely still an ongoing situation here south of I-76. So give me just a second. Again, I'm trying to find some photos and videos of damage if they exist. We're going to hope that they don't. Okay. Again, I mean, you've got your traffic and your traffic cam photos and videos coming in. This was another look at it. This was as it was east of Aurora, just north of I-70. Again, it looks like it's damaging some stuff there. Again, this would have been very, very close to the community of Bennett. Again, such an interesting and bizarre tornado here. Again, that was actually, I believe, the first one that we had associated with our supercell, and then here was the secondary one as it was near Manila Road in North Bennett. So, again, likely still an ongoing tornado here west of Leader, Colorado, that we're going to continue to watch. I am quite concerned about this. I mean, we've still got a pretty impressive velocity couplet there just southeast of Comanche. And, again, that's going to be approaching Hoyt and surrounding areas. So, if you're in this region, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, this is for parts of mainly Adams, but also a small section of southwestern Morgan County in central Colorado. Again, just northeast of Denver. So, we did just get a new update to our Storm Prediction Center outlook. A moderate risk of severe weather, again, a 4 out of 5 on the SPC scale, remains in effect here for portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. No surprises yet. Again, they're not going to change anything, obviously, until the event actually starts. But we're going to be watching here as these supercells do try to start firing, most likely along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line shortly. I will say there's a lot of cumulus cloud. There's a lot of cloud cover over here in this vicinity, so there's an entire possibility that kind of prevents some instability from rising in these areas, or instability values from rising in these areas, and that could potentially prohibit a little bit of a tornado threat with these supercells, at least to the degree that we thought they would be at before. But either way, still very impressive, and again, just a very bizarre, I'm not just talking about the Colorado landspout, the entire setup for today is quite bizarre. But anyway, we're going to be watching this here over the next several minutes, as this is likely still an ongoing landspout. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching an incredible tornado/landspout approaching I-76 near Wiggins in Colorado. So if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, this supercell here is kind of just riding our boundary. Again, it's hard to tell whether or not this tornado is even associated with the supercell or not at this point, because the rain shower, for the most part, is entirely detached. I mean, this is just weird. But anyway, again, going to continue to watch this move off to the east-northeast. This is approaching Fort Morgan and surrounding areas along I-76 here. I don't think there's any way that this survives for too much longer. Again, this should have never developed in the first place, but it did. But either way, again, it's here now, and we're watching this. Again, even if this is not still actively producing a tornado, likely some large to very large hail falling along the intersection of Highway 52 and 79. So, again, make sure that you are moving indoors and away from windows if you are in this area. If we take a look at our vertically integrated liquid signatures, you'll notice that we got a large swath there, kind of just south of Highway 52 along 79. Again, I like to call this the hail tracker tool. You'll notice that this is becoming a more widespread swath over time, so you need to be able to look out for that if you are in Roggin or surrounding areas along I-76, basically. So, anyway, again, likely still an ongoing tornado here approaching Hoyt, Colorado. Again, we'll see what happens here, guys, with this, but so far, this is the weirdest tornado we've ever covered. I mean, it genuinely looks like it's fake. Not just talking about the radar presentation matching up with it, not just talking about the fact that the environment is weird for this, but just in general, this is a weird-looking tornado. Also, there are some photos coming out of Bennett, Colorado, of some pretty significant damage to trees, outbuildings, and also there was a grain bin thrown into a solar farm. So this is getting mighty interesting by the second. Again, I mean, this is a very intense tornado, to say the least. I mean, the velocities prove it. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Wow. Alrighty. Give me just a second here. Okay. So again, still potentially an ongoing land spout here. Located just south of Wiggins, Colorado. Again, landspout, tornado, whatever you want to call it at this point. I mean, there's been multiple. It's a very bizarre and fascinating situation, but we've said that about 1,000 times, so I'm sure you guys understand at this point. Again, this is moving off to the east-northeast, so the Wiggins area. You need to be ready to seek shelter once that tornado warning does get issued, which it's very likely to here within the next 20 to 25 minutes, because this is actually moving pretty quickly. This is moving off to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour at this point. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you are prepared to seek shelter. Again, currently our tornado warning only going out mostly for portions of Adams County and far southwest Morgan County near the community of Hoyt. Again, crazy looking LP hook echo at this point, south of I-76. Weird. That's the one word that sums this all up. Weird. I mean, this is unbelievable, guys. Again, some photos of damage coming in from Bennett, and it looks to be pretty significant. Likely, again, kind of probably high-end EF2 intensity. Again, we've got photos of grain bins thrown on top of solar farms. Again, some solar panels at least have been destroyed from the looks of things. Also, your typical outbuilding debris wrapped around trees. Just a very nasty and potent area of damage that are concentrated on the north side of Bennett. Again, I genuinely cannot believe this, guys. I mean, this is the wackiest thing we've ever covered, without a doubt. Again, I mean, I'm sure you guys are sick of me saying that, but it's true. We're likely going to get another look at if this is still on the ground or not pretty soon here, because we do have some spotters in this area just north of Hoyt, and again, that supercell is going to be making its way up through that vicinity very shortly. So if you're in this region, make sure that you are staying in your safe spot. At this point, I imagine that they're going to issue a new tornado warning pretty shortly, because the supercells really, or the area where the tornado would be outside of the warning polygon at this point. Again, at this point, areas south of Wiggins, I'd be in my safe spot if I were you, but again, not technically under a tornado warning yet. Just want to make that clear. It's likely to change. Again, watching this continue to push northeast. That's about all we have to say right now. Again, going back over to parts of Kansas, again, we've got this lonely supercell over Wichita right now, but this isn't really going to be able to do too much in the near term. Again, it's mainly going to be the supercells that we're watching develop way off to the west of here pretty soon that are going to have the intense tornadic potential with them. In fact, we've already got some little showers convecting here on the radar near the town of Meade, Kansas. So if you are out here in southern Kansas, make sure that you are prepared here for, again, a wild day of significant severe weather. By the way, we are also in I believe, a NOAA weather radio outage here in this vicinity, if I'm not mistaken. We have a National Weather Service office in the area, at least one of these stations. The NOAA weather radio signal's not working. So, if necessary, if you have a NOAA weather radio that you use to get alerts, you want to make sure that it is calibrated to a station that's actually going to give you alerts today, because there have been some significant problems with that over the past few days across parts of southern Kansas. So, again, you want to make sure that you are prepared. Again, I have multiple ways to receive alerts. No weather radios are a good one. These streams are a way. Obviously, an app on your phone that'll give you alerts will work pretty well as well. But again, we encourage you to have two or more, just in case one of them fails for whatever reason. Like, for example, if there is, again, a Wi-Fi outage and you can't get your alerts, or if there's a power outage and your weather radio needs, plugged in to work. I mean, it's very, very complicated and very, very upsetting how many ways something can go wrong in a situation like that. So you need to make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts and that you're prepared and you know where you're going to go whenever that tornado warning does get issued. Again, that's going to be the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. So they did just update our tornado warning here. This is still a radar-indicated area of rotation. Again, we don't have any traffic cams out here in this area until we get to I-76, so it's going to be impossible to know whether or not this is still on the ground unless spotters report it. So we'll see what happens. Again, the velocities aren't nearly as impressive at this point, but we've still got that little rain shower going that it was associated with there. So we'll continue to watch it. Again, this has already been the most interesting and fascinating thing of all time. Again, continuing to see more photos and videos come out of Bennett, Colorado, of some significant damage here. Again, a lot of damage to a solar farm. We've got, again, some outbuilding debris. Pretty significant stuff. Again, definitely not a landspout. This is a fully fledged tornado here, guys. If it's still ongoing, of course. But anyway, very interested to see how this progresses. Again, wacky stuff to say the least. I would say it would be pretty hilarious if Kansas, Oklahoma fails and the only thing that we see all day is a PDS in Colorado. But anyway. Again, continuing to watch this move off to the east-northeast. Again, this is still an LP hook echo here, approaching Wiggins along I-76. Again, likely still some broad rotation there at the very least over the community of Hoyt. What's going on, Footy Fox? We just got a mesoscale. Whoa! Did we really? Oh, wow, we did. So we just got a high-end mesoscale. Okay. This is... Give me just a second here, guys. We just got a wild high-end mesoscale discussion just issued here for parts of southern Kansas. Once this will load, we're going to bring this up on your screen. Thank you for letting me know that. This is, again, a high-end mesoscale discussion. High-end. Oh my goodness. So this is, again, going out for southwestern Kansas, the western half of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Panhandle, and far eastern sections of the Texas Panhandle. Again, this is one of the most intense mesoscale discussions we've seen issued since the most peak probable intensity feature was introduced. This mentions the threat for tornadoes with the most probable peak intensity being wind gusts between 155 and 190 miles per hour. Again, that is violent range. They also have the over softball sized hail tag on it, so they're expecting to see over softball sized hail for today at its peak. Also, damaging wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour are going to be a possibility. My goodness. Again, supercells expected to form from western Oklahoma into southwest Kansas. Very large hail and tornadoes will be possible. Again, I'd imagine that this would be a PDS tornado watch. I mean, I don't know how it wouldn't be at this point, but again, they've noted the temperature and dew points there. Again, we're at 80 degrees and 70-degree dew points here over our main risk area for today. As of right now, again, once this cloud cover starts to go away, I mean, there's going to be a field that is highly slabbed today, to say the least. So, again, unbelievable mesoscale discussion just issued. 4 sections of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Again, this is one of the highest end mesoscale discussions we've ever seen. Again, thank you for letting me know that, Carrot. Again, this is crazy. I did not expect him to throw out that tag, especially after this cloud cover. But, again, I mean, we are still in a setup today that is going to be supportive for strong to intense tornadoes, guys. I mean, there is a very, very high ceiling for today's event. Let's just put it that way. Again, this is the 19ZH showing a lot of discrete convection, especially across southern Kansas here. I think that's going to be our main area of concern for today. Again, taking a look at our SRH values in this area, they're going to be skyrocket high over the areas where those supercells actually initiate. Our surface-based cape is going to be, pretty decent, but obviously especially high along the dry line. And once the cloud cover starts to go away, it'll likely increase here across portions of southern Kansas. We're also going to be talking about a whole lot of wind shear. There's not really going to be an issue with wind shear for today's event. We've got, a widespread 40 to 60 knots. I mean, just a very impressive and potent setup for a southern Kansas southern Kansas risk today. So, again, make sure you do have multiple ways to receive alerts. The Storm Prediction Center and National Weather Service have both noted that strong to violent tornadoes are going to be possible today. So, again, big day ahead of us. The tornado warning remains in effect here for Hoyt. Our area of circulation is going to be just southwest of Hoyt, Colorado at this point. Very, very weak, very, very broad, but still there, associated with this supercell. So again, make sure you are staying in your safe spot at this point. If you're in Leader, really anywhere other than the far northern sections of this tornado warning here is fine. You're in it all clear, but again, Hoyt northward needs to remain in their safe spot. Our supercell moving over Wichita right now, dropping some golf ball-sized hail there according to the radar. Again, taking a look at those vertically integrated liquid signatures, you'll notice that we do have some enhanced values there over the Wichita metro area. Those would be much higher if we were further away from the radar, obviously. So, again, just got a new severe thunderstorm warning there. That's going to be going out for some of our northeastern Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas convection. I really think that this area today is going to have a highly limited tornado threat. I really don't think it's going to be too intense just because of all the convection that we've already seen out here today. I think at this point they're only keeping the slight risk for this convection in particular. Again, some large hail, some damaging winds. Tornado threat very, very low with this overall. In fact, I believe that at the newest SPC update, you're only in the 2% probability zone. Yeah, so 5% in the 2%. But anyway, going back up here to Colorado, again, just southwest of Fort Morgan, our tornado warning remains in effect for parts of Adams County. Again, at this point, no signs that we do have an ongoing tornado, but I mean, this is still weird. Again, Summoner Media, Freddie McKinney, all the chasers are going to be out there today that we have access to. They are, most of them positioning in northwestern Kansas, as that looks to be the earliest time of convection. But again, I'm assuming they'll eventually make their way east on I-70 and come back to the central and southern Kansas vicinity, as these supercells are going to be very intense, and again, have the potential to produce long-tracking tornadoes today. So we'll watch out for that. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for the north side of the Denver metro area. This includes Meade along I-25 just west of Platteville. So again, some large hail and damaging wind gusts occurring here along Highway 85. I'll be right back, chat. Alrighty, folks, we're back. What's my favorite type of cheese? I like a good pepper jack. It's kind of a random question, but we take those. So, again, tornado warning remains in effect for portions of Morgan County here. Again, mainly focused on the Hoyt areas where our very, very weak and broad area of circulation is at this point. We'll continue to watch it, but again, the environment is not super conducive out here for any sort of enhanced tornado threat. Again, this is not going to be the big stream, where we cover the southern Kansas threat for today. That will come later. We're right now watching our Colorado supercell. Outside of that, no need to worry. Again, right now, Kansas fine, Oklahoma fine. That extreme discrete convection along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line near the dry line is going to come later into the evening here. Again, the HRRR does have some supercells popping up by 4 that are quite intense, but again, that's been quite inconsistent on the timing, so we'll see what happens. Again, the peak time frame looks to be kind of the 7, 8 o'clock-ish time zone. Again, maybe, an isolated tornado threat through midnight, and then a big-time rain and wind bag for portions of the Midwest. But anyways, yeah, that's been happening for me as well. It's been happening on a lot of SPC websites because Apple's Safari, for some reason, now you have to click like reduce protection if you want to look at SPC websites, which is kind of weird. I guess it thinks that the SPC is trying to give us a virus. So maybe they bump up the security on their end. But I'm not too sure. But the mesoscale discussion, again, it does mention the threat for strong to violent tornadoes, extreme damaging winds, and massive hail. Again, the hail threat is something that a lot of people are sleeping on today. There are legitimately analogs for today mentioning hail up to the size of 6 inches in diameter. Again, that's happened a couple of times on the SARS analog tools in the past several events. And a lot of the times, they're not too far off. Again, obviously, that's one instance on the SARS analogs. There have been plenty other instances, but all of them, again, whenever we have this kind of setup in this part of the world, always end up bringing usually at least hail up to the size of softballs. So again, you want to make sure that you are on the lookout today in southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. You can even see the enhanced DBZ values on the HRRR model, which is kind of funny. But again, not only do we have the moderate risk of severe weather driven by our 15% tornado threat for today, but also our 45% hatched hail risk. Again, that's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, but it could be just as significant damage-wise as our tornado threat, as hail to that size, it can shatter windshields, it can destroy cars, it can do extreme damage to sidings of homes, it can do a lot of damage to your roof. Again, you really gotta be careful and not play around with that hail threat. That is the kind of hail that falls at a really rapid rate as well, and it can cause significant injury or worse if you're caught outside in it. So you want to be very careful today. Again, not going to see too much of that out here in Colorado, but Colorado was never expected to do anything, so Colorado may just be the boom state for today. Again, this Kansas event is really boom or bust, but even if it busts, I feel like Colorado, that was such a bad voice crack, Colorado so far overperformed that it almost equals out. You got to keep in mind, we had a PDS tornado in a 30-degree dew point and a 50-degree temperature environment, and we had 2 massive tornadoes. Again, it's unbelievable. Speaking of which, continue to get more photos and videos of damage from Bennett. Again, it looks to be very, very significant thus far in terms of outbuilding damage and damage to a solar farm. Colorado. Anyway, our supercell here did just undergo a little cell merger, so we'll see if that enhances our tornado threat as this approaches I-76 near Wiggins. But outside of that, not too much to mention right now. Again, Chasers getting into position here. It almost looks like they're going for this Colorado, so they're not. But they're awaiting convection to start firing here in northwestern Kansas, which honestly is not a terrible idea. Again, it looks like it's going to get going much earlier than it is further to the south. Again, within the next 30 minutes, it has a intense supercell developing over I-70. So, again, we'll see if that ends up playing out or not. But the HRRR has been very iffy on the timing for today. But I will say, we do have some convective showers out here. Longer dry line firing. So, it's not impossible. Anyway, again, still our tornado warning storm here near Hoyt, Colorado. Again, at this point, they're likely not going to reissue this tornado warning, or else they would have done it by now. I will say there's an elevated pocket of winds approaching I-76 here, likely 50 to 60 miles an hour, so we'll see if they give this a severe thunderstorm warning. Speaking of which, we do still have that severe thunderstorm warning for areas along I-25 near Meade. Still a big hail dropper here as this approaches Greeley along Highway 85, so if you're in this area, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. We are likely going to get our new scans here on all of our radar products very shortly. The Denver radar has been updating very frequently, which is good. But, again, the wackiest start to this event imaginable. Unbelievable, guys. We've not seen anything like this in quite a while. So, again, hopefully everybody took that warning seriously there in Bennett. It was kind of a last-second tornado warning. The first tornado was already causing some significant damage by the time it got issued, but hopefully everybody took the warning seriously. The good news is that it looks like it missed Bennett for the most part. It kind of went just north of town to where that solar farm was, and all right. We now have a brand new tornado watch just issued. This is weird. This is the same one that was associated with our PDS or 190 mesoscale. This is weird. This was a 190 mile per hour mesoscale discussion on the peak probable intensity. And this is not a PDS tornado watch. It's not even close to a PDS tornado watch. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a very confusing thing because it was less than 30 minutes ago that they were saying that violent tornadoes were going to be possible. And now this is quite simply your average 10 hatched kind of day tornado watch. Again, a few tornadoes likely, widespread hail up to apple size likely, and scattered gusts up to 70 miles an hour possible. That is going to be going out for portions of western Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and then 2 counties there, and the northeastern corner of the Texas Panhandle. Over 2 million people included in that there. So if you're in this area, again, make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. And they did actually go ahead and severe thunderstorm warn our storm approaching Wiggins, like we expected, for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and it does still have the tornado possible tag on it in case of any broad rotation. Again, I don't understand how we get a 190 mesoscale and then a low-end non-PDS tornado watch. It makes no sense. And anyway, again, brand new tornado watch just issued. Make sure that you're taking it seriously. Again, they have mentioned that this area is going to be, again, our greatest threat for any sort of strong tornado potential. Again, we're expecting supercells to develop along a dry line here very shortly across parts of southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma if the HRRR run on the 19Z is correct. So, again, make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, but as of right now, not seeing too much, in all honesty. I mean, we've got some very, very light convective showers. That's about all I have to tell you. I will say, stuff is getting going south of Dodge City. Again, these little cells near Meade are trying to convect. Evidently, Carrot. Again, I don't know how we go from a 190 mesoscale to a few tornadoes likely watch. I mean, this is probably like a 60-40 watch with that kind of wording. I mean, that's insane. Anyway. Cool. Cool beans. Again, getting a lot of mixed signals here. But anyway, we'll stay on track. Again, waiting for the specific probabilities to come out for this watch because I think they're going to be really interesting. Again, this was 19 minutes. It was 10 minutes ago whenever the tornado watch got issued. They said that tornadoes with peak wind gusts up to 190 miles an hour would be possible. And then it's a few tornadoes likely tag. That's a low-end tornado watch. Wow. Again, I mean, shocking. It's shocking. They did go ahead and cancel our tornado warning in Morgan County, so at this point you're good. Did they change their minds or what is crazy work? I mean, it kind of feels that way, I'll be honest. But anyway, weird. It's not even popping up on the SBC website yet. The watch isn't. But yeah, everybody's freaking out about it. Wow, incredible damage coming in from Elkhorn Ranch, Colorado. My goodness. Again, this was a destructive tornado, at least for a brief period of time. Again, it was the secondary one that caused most of the damage, but I believe this was actually the first one that I'm watching right now. Again, I can't show this on stream, obviously, but incredible footage coming in from these very photogenic tornadoes. Again, highly unexpected. I don't understand how that happens in a 32-degree dew point environment. I mean, this was a wedge. This was a wedge tornado. It was not a land spout. It was a tornado associated with a rotating mesocyclone. Violent rotation. And it was a wedge. I don't understand. I'm so interested in how that happened. I've got to find out. I mean, there's got to be a better explanation other than, oh, it interacted with the boundary. I mean, this literally looks like Andover. I don't understand. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and post that on my community tab if you guys are interested. Again, I can't bring it up on stream, obviously, but wow. My goodness, dude. Okay. Again, this day just keeps getting crazier and crazier. It's a 70-60. Okay. I don't understand how that's a few tornadoes likely tag then, but either way, again, overall tornado threat, there's a 70% chance of seeing one or more tornadoes within this watch polygon, and a 60% chance of seeing two or more strong tornadoes within this watch polygon, that of which being anywhere between EF2 and EF5 intensity. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is wild. Again, I'm going to go and post this on my community tab. Give me just a second here. Anyway, I went ahead and just posted that picture on my community tab again. Possibly the most violent tornado to ever develop at 30-degree dew points. I'll put that out there. And again, the radar presentation does not clear anything up. It only makes things weirder. But anyway, again, I think we're probably going to end off our stream here pretty shortly. Again, we're going to probably come back later this evening whenever things really start to pop up along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line dry line. We're starting to see some convective showers out there, but I don't see these doing anything for at least another hour or two. So again, we're going to go ahead and cut off our coverage here. Again, I thank you all for tuning in. Again, this was the wildest tornado we've ever covered in terms of how weird it was. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream / video, whenever that is. Peace.